Hey guys, good morning and welcome to Unit 4. Yay! Unit 4 is our data unit. So we're going to learn all kinds of stuff about data today and for the next several weeks. All right, so today our focus is we're going to create frequency tables and histograms. We're also going to look at dot plots, which is kind of like a histogram, but with dots instead of bars. Histograms have bars, like a bar graph. Dot plots use dots instead. Okay, so starting here with vocabulary, we are going to talk about all of these vocabulary words today. So please make sure you take note of those as we move along. So let's start with frequency. Frequency means how often something happens. And my mouse is not fun to write with, so maybe I'll go back and type that for you. So frequency is how often something happens. So for instance, the days of the week. There are 7 days in the week, so the frequency of the days is 7. A frequency table is just a place to record frequency. So we're going to see what that looks like in just a second. And then we'll talk about histogram and cumulative frequency later. Okay. Frequency and histogram. So what I just said, the frequency of a data value is the number of times it occurs, how often it happens. And a frequency table shows the frequency of each data value. So it's just a place to record all of that information. Okay. So let's make a frequency table. We'll make one together and then the video will stop and you'll try one on your own. Okay. So we've got the number of students enrolled in Western civilization classes at a university are given below. Use the data to make a frequency table with intervals. So intervals are a way to group data. Notice if you look at all of these numbers, none of them are the same. So if we were just to try and graph them, we would just have a different point for each number. But that's not what we want with a frequency table or with a histogram or a dot plot. So what we're going to do is we're going to group these numbers together. So you should notice that there's one number here. There's number 9. And so we're going to make a group from 0 to 9. And how many of the numbers are between 0 and 9? Just one. Okay? Now, we also see that there are some numbers between 10 and 20. For instance, 12 and 18 and 19 and 14. So let's see, make sure I got them all. These are all the numbers between 10 and 20. So I'm going to make an interval here, 10 to 19, because we want these to be the same width. And there are 4 of those, I think. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them. Yeah, so there's 4 of those. Okay, so our next gap, our next interval, excuse me, will be the 20s. So anything from 20 to 29 will go in our next interval. So there's a bunch of these. And that makes sense because remember, we're talking about class sizes. So students enrolled in classes, it makes sense that there's a lot in the 20s. All right, so we'll write our interval down here. So our interval would be 20. Whoop, I didn't switch to a pen. My bad. Pen. So our interval would be from 20 to 29. And then how many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we'll make a 5 here. 5. There we go. And so we see we have a few more numbers left, and we can still group those together. These are in the 30s. So I've got 31 and 32, but that's it. So we'll make an interval for the 30s, 30 to 39. Wow, this pen is slow. Let me write that again for you. Boop, 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 boop. All right. We've got 30 to 39. That's a little bit better. And how many were there? 2. 1 and 2. 2. Cool. All right. So things to notice about the frequency table that we just created. Okay. First of all, each of these intervals down here, so these guys, they're all the same width. Notice how they each go from 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, and 30 to 39. So each of these intervals have a width of 10. So think about that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 10 numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So each one of these intervals has a width of 10. And this is really important when you're making intervals. They all need to be the same width. So 0 to 9 is the same as 10 to 19. Okay? All right, I believe there's another one down here. Yes. All right, I want you to try this one out, and you'll see my solution in the next video. Good luck.